Blood flowed across the earth, and lawlessness spread like a plague. Humanity cried out, their voices rising to the heavens, echoing in the very throne room of God. The souls of the innocent, slain by giants and corrupted men, pleaded for justice, for mercy, for salvation. Above, in the highest heavens, the four great archangels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, gathered in sorrow and despair. The Book of Enoch tells us that what they saw broke their hearts. The earth, once peaceful, had been consumed by chaos, corruption, and the unnatural offspring of the Watchers. Michael, the protector of the faithful, spoke first, his voice strong and unwavering. "The earth is soaked in blood. The giants, born of the fallen Watchers and human women, destroy all in their path. We cannot stand idly by." Uriel, whose eyes pierced through the secrets of the world, added, "The cries of the dead rise like a river to heaven. Azazel taught humanity forbidden knowledge, swords, armor, and sorcery, and Semjaza led the rebellion of the Watchers. Justice must be served." Raphael, the healer and guardian, nodded gravely. "The corruption of mankind spreads like wildfire. The giants devour, destroy, and sow terror. If left unchecked, the earth itself will perish." Finally, Gabriel, the warrior of divine wrath, stepped forward, his presence radiating power. "Then let us act. Let the lawless and the corrupt feel the weight of heaven's justice." Each archangel received a sacred mission from the Most High. Uriel was sent to warn Noah, the righteous man, so that he and his descendants might survive the coming flood. Raphael was commanded to bind Azazel, the Watcher who taught humanity forbidden secrets, and cast him into darkness, into the desert of Uriel, where he would remain until the day of judgment. Michael was instructed to imprison Semjaza and the other Watchers who had defiled themselves with human women. They were to remain bound in the depths of the earth for 70 generations until the final judgment. Gabriel was charged with bringing destruction to the giants, the unholy offspring of the fallen angels and human women, forcing them to destroy each other. On the earth, the giants roamed like living mountains. Their hunger was insatiable, their violence unstoppable. Entire villages were devoured, crops destroyed, animals slaughtered. The Book of Enoch tells us that they even turned on each other, consuming one another's flesh in their insatiable fury. Their fathers, the Watchers, watched from the shadows, hoping their unholy offspring might inherit immortality. But heaven had decreed otherwise. Gabriel descended first, his wings spanning the sky, radiating fire and divine wrath. The giants trembled at his arrival. With a single command, chaos erupted among them. They fought one another, tearing down forests and mountains as their fury turned inward. Blood rained upon the earth as Gabriel's justice spread. While Gabriel unleashed chaos on the giants, Michael and Raphael descended to the depths of the earth. Chains of divine power wrapped around Semjaza and his companions. They cried out, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. For 70 generations they would remain bound, witnessing the destruction of their sons until the day of final judgment. Raphael cast Azazel into the desert of Uriel, sealing him beneath jagged rocks. There he would remain, buried in darkness, until the eternal fire of judgment. As the giants destroyed one another and the Watchers were bound, the earth began to heal. The cries of the innocent were finally heard, and the corruption of the Watchers' knowledge was purged. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel had restored a measure of balance, but the memory of the fallen angels and their offspring would forever haunt humanity. The Book of Enoch reminds us that even in the darkest times, divine justice moves with precision and power. The righteous were spared and hope remained, awaiting the final judgment when all things would be made right. The age of the Watchers had ended, but the story remained. Humanity learned that the consequences of rebellion reach across generations, and that heaven's warriors, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, stand vigilant, ready to bring justice when the cries of the innocent rise too high to ignore. And so, the giants fell. The watchers were bound, and the earth, though scarred, survived, awaiting the day when righteousness and truth would finally reign.